Hello everybody, and welcome to the 2024 lineup video. This is definitely, excuse me. This is going to be completely raw and uncut because frankly, I just don't have the time and energy to edit, so you got my sneeze in there. But I wanted to do this one for myself because I think I really get a lot of benefit from doing these kind of videos and talking through my stuff out loud. But also, I know how inspirational it is to see others do this type of stuff. And I'm hoping to bring a little bit more content consistently to this channel in 2024 in the realm of talking about specific goals, health goals, how to track them if you're using a physical tracker for your health goals, because I am actually a full-time online holistic fitness and functional nutrition coach. I specifically deal with helping people manage their exercise and their nutrition and their lifestyle in order to help reduce inflammation, keep the hormones happy, reduce things like PMS, bloating, promote fertility health, and be able to live in a body, regardless of whether that includes a weight loss goal or not, live in a body that they feel at home in. And there's a lot of things that I see in the tracking of health goals that has a lot of problems. But again, that's a problem for future me, and I will be doing some more research. So if you have specific questions on any of that, goals that you have that you're tracking, that you're not sure if what you're tracking is actually effective, and you maybe don't even know what to do with that data, drop those questions in the comments because I'll definitely be relying a lot on the audience to help me drive that content. So, coffee, sip, real quick. And the first book that we're going to get into for 2024 is the one that has been on my channel already. This is my B6 Sterling ink notebook. So sorry for the glare there. Let me turn this overhead light off just really quick so you can see. I have a sticker from Planner Monkey Co., a pin from a shop on Etsy that I can't remember, and then another Planner Monkey Co. sticker. And then I have it inside this Elysian paper, a Ready cover in the emerald green, with a Lauren Phelps Designs clear cover and a Sterling ink vellum underneath. So I just am absolutely in love with this whole setup. Okay, light coming back on. And this is my 2024 book. Now, I'm actually going to end up using it a little bit differently than what I had planned, only because I'm realizing that I will likely not last a full 6 months in this book. For reference, this is a Planner Monkey Co. Freely noted 224-page notebook, and I started this standard size notebook on November 5th, and it's already full minus like maybe like 8 pages in the back. And I'm not going to worry about filling up those random 8 pages, but this. I will do a separate flip on this one, sort of as my version of a 2023 wrapped, but I'm not actually going to go through my entire notebook. But this is I filled this up, and I want to embody the best way I know how to put it is Claire from online says, I am not afraid of paper. And I just really want to embody this I am not afraid of paper. And talk about my system, how it works together, what didn't work in 2023, and how that led to me getting here. So this B6 notebook, I'm actually going to take it out of the cover just for the sake. And I have just a little pocket from Planner Monkey Co. with stickers, some tweezers, and my pen here. I'm going to talk about this edition of this personal wide rings and how my issues from 2023 led me to sort of being in a bullet journal plus rings. Now, this is a personal wide rings, so it's rather large and in charge, which is totally fine. I don't mind the size. To be completely honest, there's no way I would have been able to be in a personal sized rings, only because the writing space on a personal sized insert is the same size as like a Hobonichi week size paper, and this is like a Hobonichi week size notebook here. This is just too narrow for me. Like, I can't do this narrowness. Now, I don't know what I'm going to use. This is just a blank Planner Monkey Co. notebook, but there's no way. I tried being in weeks twice at the beginning of 2023, tried revisiting it a couple times as the year went on, and it's just too small for me. It doesn't compute with my brain. So personal wide, which is very similar to the B6 size. So this is actually a freebie from Planner Monkey Co. It's a 5x7, and B6 is about 5x7. And so the fact that the insert size is very similar to the B6, which is kind of my happy place when it comes to paper. The fact that I have a similar sized insert for this notebook is really important. And I'm going to do a separate deep dive video on this notebook. I'll just do kind of a brief one. But essentially what happens is this is the bullet journal. And this is the annual reference slash overflow. So what I realized when I was planner hopping in 2023, trying to figure out what was working, I really didn't like not having a space for all of my stuff in one year, regards to health, appointments, cycle tracking, health and fitness, project management, overviews, things like that, finances. I wanted it all in one place, but I didn't want to be stuck in one book all year long. I like filling up as many pages as I needed or want to, and you'll see that very quickly when I'm going to do a quick flip of this here. I'm actually going to do an Instagram live here shortly on this book specifically, but I needed to be able to just fill up a book, but also have a space to hold important information. And then the thing that I like about this book is that because I use just a blank notebook, if I need to move my dailies and weeklies into my rings and just sort of live out of this one for the time being as my like main book, I can. So I can very easily go back and forth between main book reference, main book supplement, because I do have some stuff in here from a monthly perspective that I will want to come back to 2 to 3 days a week, but I have the option now to either just live in this book daily, touch this one 1 to 2 times a week, or be in this one daily, touch this one 1 to 2 times a week. And I really like that balance. When I travel, it will be really easy because if I need to travel, I can foresee myself just taking this book or just taking this book and then just getting everything caught up when I return, because I don't usually travel anywhere for longer than a week. And if I do go somewhere longer than a week, I will likely take both books. So really I'm in sort of a 2-book system with a couple of supplements that I'll talk about here shortly. So let me get into what this book really is meant to be first. So this is my personal wide rings. This is a cover from Naya Papery in the latte leather, and I just absolutely am loving how this is looking. I did take advantage of, there was a Vanderspec sale where if you get one cover, they will make you another one in the Touch Me leather for free. I did take advantage of that because that was a steal and a half. And I have a couple other rings covers coming in, which I'm excited about, because if I need to overflow or I need to archive, or I have a Moterm cover that I can kind of archive in because I don't really like that cover. So I'm like, that'll be my overflow. But for me, being able to switch covers helps me stay in a system for longer than a month or 2. So it's like, oh, new book, put a new cover on it. It's got a totally different feel. So this baby is on 30mm rings, and she is chock full of goodness. So I have here just a yearly overview and then some sticky notes with the dashboard. This fly leaf has a pen loop and an extra little pocket in here. So if I am rocking this one as my day-to-day, I will keep my stickers kind of in here. And then this is my sort of first section would be work, where I've got my annual overviews, project brainstorm, and then deadlines, like deadline overview. So once I set my deadlines, I like to put them in. So like in the month of, for example, let me find, this was November, I block out the days where I'm not putting deadlines because I have other events and things come on. And then I put like holidays in, and then I can set deadlines for my various projects and then check them off. So that weekly, when I'm doing my weekly planning, I can reference my deadlines and then plug those into my weekly overview so I know how to sort of schedule my week. And then I have this, this is from Plans and Stowe. I got some things from them, and this is for December. I didn't actually put anything in here for December because December was more so like reflecting, reviewing, catching up. So I didn't actually really work on any projects in December. I had a project that I was going to have in December, ended up scrapping it because the last few months of my life were just insane, and December was really about reflecting, revising, making a game plan. Even now, today's December 31st. I'm still a little bit behind on a couple things, but I'm okay with that because I'd rather move forward with intention rather than scramble to get it done just for the sake of it getting done. The theme of 2024 is we are no longer in survival mode. We're moving forward with intention and reflection on everything. And then I have my health and fitness section here. And then I just will put, these are monthlies that I will just have in here. Ta-da, from Planner Room Shop, which I love Planner Room Shop. I have several inserts from them. Again, I'll do another more in-depth deep dive on this later. And then I have my health section, which is gonna have my 2024 workouts, and then my 2023, this is my completed October where I listed all my workouts and then tracked some stats here. And I like having this big overview of everything. I need to finish December. That's on my projects for this week. I need to finish my December calendars and then look at my stats. December was kind of a shit show, but I can track things like this pretty consistently because all of my data is logged digitally, so it's all housed somewhere, and then I just pull it in to get the overview. And then I have an inbox, just a section for me to pull in tasks and things like that, although I will say I am going to be using also more of a digital inbox that I touch once or twice a week, only because that's just where my brain is at right now. So my personal inbox being literally my notes app on my phone, because I can keep that updated. And then I do a weekly reconciliation. And that's what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. And that's been helping me a lot. But if I'm not at my computer or I don't want to open my notes, I can still touch base into my physical inbox. And I have one in my B6 notebook also. And I just once a week will go through, cross-reference, check things off, move things around, migrate as needed, and then that's what happens there. Then I have here my reading log. So I'm not going to do any more in-depth trying to journal about my books. I really just want to write the book, do the rating, write the book, do the rating, write the book, do the rating. I'm not setting any reading goals for 2024. I tried in 2023 desperately to keep up with some really beautiful reading notebooks, and I just don't have the brain power, the energy, and I don't find as much value in it as I thought I did. And I tried to commit to one style of book logging that didn't work, and then another style that also didn't work. It felt more like a chore, and I really want to have a physical representation of the books that I read outside of Goodreads, because I'm actually going to be working this year on transitioning all my Goodreads data into a spreadsheet, specifically also to help me keep track of series that I start that maybe aren't completed, so I can just have a better idea of that. But this is just ratings, no explanations. And I just printed a bunch of these. I made these myself on Canva, and I just dumped them in there, which is good. And I had this reading log, but I didn't really like that it was so little and it only gave me the stars, because I want to do stars and spice. So anyway, then I have my gratitude log, which I'm having mixed feelings about this, because I realized that it's actually been really hard for me to keep up with this. I actually cut down a Hobonichi weeks, tipped it in here. It's actually been harder for me to keep up with this because I'm not in this book all the time every single day. So I think I need to go back to just including it in my general daily journaling in whatever book I end up in. So rather than having a dedicated section for it, I know I do it regardless, just doing it in likely my bullet journal, in whatever day I'm in whatever page, etc., rather than necessarily forcing myself to do a dedicated space for it. While I find this helpful, I really wanted to use the Hobonichi weeks for this. The whole reason this wasn't going to work is because I didn't want to have another book that I had to touch on a daily basis. So this needs to be in whatever book I'm in on a daily basis, and I'm not always in this book every single day. So I think rather than try to compile it all together, I'm just going to maintain this practice, and I'm just going to put it in randomly in whatever book or spread or daily spread I'm in. So there's that. I do have a dailies and weekly section in back here. And so this is like an example of like, I really played with this in the month of December because I was really journaling very heavily in my bullet journal in the month of December. So like, there's definitely room for me to stick if I'm in this book for a week or for a day to do my gratitude and my dailies in here. You know, I can literally just stick a piece of paper in here because it's a ring, so I can move it around, stuff like that. But I really love this for my dailies. Not so much for my weeklies. I find that I'm not using weeklies as heavily. I'm more so relying on an inbox plus a daily planner and my monthly overview. And that's totally fine. But I really loved this. This was super fun. And I'm glad that I have the option to do this when I want to. And again, like I said, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, I plan daily like this regardless. It's just a different layout. And then I can tip in or put in a blank page for this week's gratitude and affirmations alongside my dailies in whatever book I'm in. So that's how that's going to go. So then we have this, so we have this gratitude section that may or may not stick around. Maybe I'll put some blank gratitude logs in here for the days that I'm in this book, and that would probably be a better use of this space. And then, like I said, if I am in this book as my daily driver, depending on the week, then it will just go in this book. I'll make a page for that. You know what I mean? Then I just have some notes sections. So different notes on things. These are all blank, random things that I need to, you know, just brainstorming, things like that. And then my old weeklies. And then I have a finance section, which I have not yet to fill out. I actually am in the process of setting this up. And then I'm trying to do more hands-on with the finances versus digital, because I have several accounts for my business, but then I also manage my mom's finances, and it's just getting very overwhelming. And then I have notes, and this is notes specific to finances. So I have a general notes section, and then I have a finances notes section, so that if I have a meeting with my financial advisor, or we have a meeting with my mom and the social security officer, or whatever, we can put this in here. And then I just have extra blank inserts here in the back, along with a page lifter to help protect these pages. So this is sort of my mainly reference, with some things that still need to be adjusted, but I'm really loving that I can just be in one book and on a day and not have to worry about, touching 3 or 4 books a day to keep them updated. Because I tried to kind of do that in 2023 and it worked for a while until it didn't. Now, the B6, ta-da! So this is the one that has been on my channel already. I've already talked about this. This is a Lauren Phelps Designs cover. I have several clear covers that you'll see come in and out of play as the year goes on. Again, I can stay in a book for longer if I have options. And I know I love B6, so that's why I have several options for B6 covers. I also fell in love with standard this year. Like, I really love this standard size, which I didn't know I was gonna love until I started using it this November. So I started acquiring some additional, like I have another blank standard notebook, and this is from Sterling Ink, and I'm excited for this one because the pages are numbered. And I ordered another standard cover also from Elysian Paper, and I got this standard from Sojourner, which is beautiful. It's like, I had this in just a regular Midori Travelers cover, and I wasn't in love with it. And then I actually met Rowena, because she and I are regulars at the same copy shop, and she met me and we just had a really awesome connection. And she was just like, you know, she goes, I have a cover that I want to give you. And we met for coffee the next day and had such a fun little hangout. And it was so generous of her. But I want to get another one of these covers because I have an A5 notebook that I use for research and reading for my professional stuff. It's not like a planner, it's just a blank notebook. And I would love a soft cover. She has some really beautiful soft leather covers that would be so nice for that research notebook. Like, in my head, I can't wait to get it put together. But anyway, I love standard, so I'll likely be in and out of B6 and standard, kind of back and forth. But for now, I'm in B6 because that's what I know and love. This is my little dashboard. And then I have my map of Prithian. I'm not going to do too crazy of an in-depth. And then I have my index. Now you can see I've already started indexing this because I am an indexer at heart. I need to be able to reference back to pages because they fill up books so fast. This is a Planner Monkey Co. This is the index on this page too. Just a little journaling card that came in an order that I laminated and stuck a pen loop on because I needed a second pen loop. And then I have my future log. My future log, again, this book was originally supposed to be for 6 months. So you'll see January through June set up in a lot of these. I don't think this is going to last until through April, but I'm going to keep the spaces for May and June in for the weeklies and monthlies just in case, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. Because again, I was intending for this to be a page per day plus some extra for 6 months, but I'm constantly writing things down. And like I said, my issue with 2023 was that I had too many places to write things down. And I need just one place to write things down, and then I will migrate. So very much going back to my roots of bullet journaling, which is what got me into planning in the first place. And then the rings that we just looked at is my reference for annual, for health, for cycle tracking, finances, things like that. So I have my annual stuff in one place, and then I have my notebook for anything else that needs to be. Again, we are not afraid of paper. So I'm gonna actually use this as a little mood log for January. I'm gonna see how this goes. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, but I set this up thinking I was gonna track my quarterly and monthly habits on there, but I'm actually not, because you'll see in a minute, I have another space set up for my habits that are focused in on my Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets, which is one of my supplement notebooks that I'm using for my goal setting this year. So I did just some little emojis. This is my little just deco page. I love putting deco page. And then again, I have room for through June. I'm just gonna leave the spaces dedicated for June open in case I do end up in there, because there might be some months where I don't write as much down. And so I don't wanna lock myself into, you know, not being able to use it for the full 6 months. But I did take off some of my tabs for the dailies, and I just left my tabs for the weeklies. And then I've got my monthlies. So January, I'm trying to use my monthlies in a little bit different way. I don't need to put any finances in here anymore because I have, like, as I said, a separate place in my rings for that. But I'm just doing this as an overview because I'm constantly having to pull up my phone or whatever. And again, my goal is to do like a weekly reconciliation of my Google Calendar or my iCal that has like 4 different Google Calendars synced to it into this. And so just so that I have a reference, so I can see what days that I have meetings and stuff like that, appointments. I need to put like my therapy. I have my first therapy appointment for January in here, but I have like another one, I think, on this day that I need to put in. And then this is where my inbox is going to be. So this is my personal inbox and my work inbox. So this is me like brain dumping stuff. Let's say I think about something, but it doesn't need to be done today. It's just I want to get this done in the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's going to go into the inbox here. And this is where this will also get reconciled with the digital inbox so that I'm not overflowing into this, and anything in here that really is kind of like this is more of a wish list versus a to-do item. It can go back into the digital note, and then I just will reconcile everything once a week. And I think that that's going to be the easiest thing, because for me, having only one place to write things down is a little stressful. So I'm just using literally the notes app on my phone, because I use that for a lot of things. And then this will be, so work, because I inevitably will have more work things that come into mind. Projects. This is where I will sometimes write, like, I have a long-term project that I'm thinking of that I need to discuss with my graphics guy that I need to write down here, but I'll do that another day. I thought about it and I didn't write it down. And then personal. And so I have my month on 2 pages and then my month blank notes for whatever. I'm not committing to using this space for anything. And then we have the weeklies. And so this is where my intentions for the week, and these are very much based on my Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets goal setting that I did, and then my habits that I'm tracking. Now this looks like a lot, but it's actually not. This is what vitamins did I take, my no spends, did I work out, did I like my food, did I do a tidy up? And tidying up and cleaning is not stuff I need to do daily. It's just, when did I do it this week? Did I do it at least once this week is kind of the intention with this. And then gluten-free and alcohol-free. I'm supposed to eat gluten-free, although sometimes I get a little bit lax with that, and then I start to feel it because I do have Hashimoto's. So I really just try to keep myself aware. And sometimes I don't realize that I'm not eating something that shouldn't be really, in theory. And then I have my events overview this week, and then just space for notes. Like, I don't know what's going to go here. I really don't, but I'm just going to keep it in general. Maybe I'll do highlights. Maybe I'll do another random brain dump or what have you. But I just like knowing that there's space. And then I did a little calendar. And these weekly spaces are all completely blank. So I will set them up as we go. And then I'm going to leave the room for June. So now we get into the dailies, or what was meant to be the dailies. You can see where I ripped off the tab. Here, I actually got a little too aggressive here and ripped the tab off because I realized that I didn't want to be locked into only a certain amount of pages per month. So this is my January focus. These are my habits. These are the same habits that are in my weekly, but I will just transfer them. So I can get a month overview. I will transfer them once a week. My main goals: supporting mental health, maintaining a physical space, and keep a tidy home. And again, those are directly related. I have my power sheets right here. These are directly related to my first quarter goals and my intentions, just bringing attention to them here, okay? Then I've got my weekly reflections for these specific goals, not anything in particular, but just observations, notes, feelings, things that burdened me, things that were really helpful. There's no formal reflection here. It's just whatever comes to mind related to what I struggled with or didn't struggle with here. And then I've got my book log here, so I can write the title of the book and then how many days I read it, title of the book, how many days I read it, and then my top read for January. And then my book stats, total pages, total books, how many physical, how many audio, how many on my e-reader. And then I get into my dailies. Now I've already started setting up my dailies because guess what? Tomorrow's January 1st. So tomorrow I am going to work out. I'm going to take some care of things at home and picking my niece and nephew up, taking them to movie, going shopping online for their Renaissance Fair costumes, which is their Christmas present from me. And then this is my to-do list for Tuesday. Again, I love having a to-do list and a timeline. I need the timeline because otherwise I just completely disconnect from where the day is going because of time blindness, thanks to ADHD. And so that's how that goes. And then I'm going to do I have days, and then here's a January recap. And this is where I realized that I didn't want to only have this amount of days because I had originally sectioned off my journaling for this part of the book, and I realized I wanted more. So we have no rules. So this is just basic spreads. So my monthly task rotation, recurring task rotation. I'm going to put personal task rotation here for quarterly, weekly, monthly. Just notes on a YouTube video. Cute little spread because I had these freebies from Planner Monkey Co. And then this is, I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise it won't be boring. And then my resolutions. So more intention, less consumption, blinders on and move forward. So I'm not getting distracted by stupid shit. Proactive mental and physical health, and being a friend to future me. Those are sort of I like intentions versus resolutions, but this is too cute to not use. And this kind of sums up all of the big idea goals that I have in my Cultivate What Matters power sheets. This is project management thoughts. Q1 projects that I need to start working on. JK, Q1 is tomorrow. So this week is really kind of like I'm giving myself week 1 as a freebie week. So week 1 for me will really start January 8th. And then this is more space to kind of flesh out what I'm going to work on first, etc. over here. Because I knew I needed more space, but I didn't have time that day. December 29th, December 30th, I did my dailies in here the last 2 days because I just was already in this book for so many other things. And I wouldn't have had room to put it all in my TN, and then I would have had to migrate it all to my TN, and I didn't want to do that. So 2 days ago yesterday, and then this is Instagram planning notes, feedback from my cohort in Slack, and I have some more notes because I'm waiting on some more feedback, but I just needed to brainstorm all of this. My January content checklist, client checklist for certain things, questions for clients for effective communication and check-ins, which was inspired by a post of one of my friends and colleagues, Lisa Marie, and then notes on Aura and Garmin because I have an Aura ring. My Apple Watch needed to be replaced, and I didn't want to get another Apple Watch. That's another story for another day, but I did a bunch of notes here and then kind of wrote my outcome here. And then this is today, things I want to do today. And then again, this is all just blank, so it's fun. And then in the back here, we've got side quest wish list, which I migrated for my TN. So things I want to do but don't need to be done today, that are more like personal focused, not work. This is definitely personal. So like setting up an Excel sheet with my reads and update the CSV download from Goodreads, right? And then I've got my to be read professional development, my study schedule for professional development, schedule brainstorm, routine brainstorm, ideal Sunday, journal prompts, which I'm still working on, happy mail, date log, hanging with friends log, oops. And then this is a early morning workout, notes for potential schedule, notes on light therapy, and then my physical TBR, that's like the things I want to read first starting in 2024, and then a random I get so confused on this Blood and Ash and Flesh and Fire, what books in what order. So I made a list of the ones I've already read and the ones that I still need to read. And that's all she wrote for right now. So my memory card was going to kick me off. So I just wanted to jump in really quick and finish up my additional 2 books for this year, which is a A6 5-year Hobonichi, which I'm starting this year. Now this is very bittersweet, and I was actually really scared to start this when I ordered it, because I didn't want to start a 5-year book knowing that I was going to be losing my dad at some point, and then have to look through this 5-year book and have his death in here, because there's a reason I'm not doing a 2023 flip of my books, and I will only do really a flip of my TN. My dad's death is really hitting me quite hard, and I'm struggling a lot, and I'm dealing with things, and I don't want to ignore things, but I can't face certain things right now. So I've kind of put some things off for problems for future me. But my dad did end up passing on October 25th of this year. So it's almost like bittersweet for me to do this, because while I won't have to put my dad's continued illness and death into this 5-year notebook, I'm going into the first year without him, and that's very tough. But I know he's going to be with me, and actually I'm doing some journaling for him and going to therapy, and I'm dealing. But I am very excited to do this memory a day. I did this for all of 2023 minus sort of September, October on, because my dad's illness just kind of took over, and I just didn't have the bandwidth to do it at that point. But I really enjoy this, and part of the reason I want to do this memory a day is because my dad had Alzheimer's, and watching him forget and be confused was really, really difficult, and I want to honor him and his legacy and all the work that he did with our family and our family tree, and continue to remember him, but not just remember him, but remember my life, that I existed, that I was documented. And not that things matter, the physical books won't matter, but it's like therapeutic for me to do this knowing what he went through. So I'm going to continue to do this memory day in here. And then I don't know what I'll do with this page. I thought it would be fun to kind of write what pen and what ink I'm using, sort of as like a fountain pen memoir, or it can be overflow from whatever notes for the day over on this side. So I'm really quite excited about this book. So I'm going to start this tomorrow. And I think what I'm going to do is I actually have a little card that I want to stick just a picture of my dad in here or in the cover somewhere. Because even though he did leave us in 2023, he's going to be with me. So hi, feelings. Okay. And then this is my Cultivate What Matters power sheets, and it's actually on my to-do list today to sort of finish this up. And let me see if I can zoom out just a little bit more, because this is an 8.5 by 11 book. I have my goals in here, and I love this because it takes you through the planning, and it takes you through putting everything in here. And I'm really very excited for this, and I like it because it doesn't tell you to focus on everything at once. You're going to pick areas to focus on, and my first areas to focus on this year is going to be my health, my home, and health is going to be physical health, home, and then personal development. There we go. Better emotional regulation. So health, home, and personal development. So I want to continue to lose body fat and improve my mobility. So just lose body fat really is also a term for I want to add more muscle this year onto my frame, and really focus on getting stronger and more mobile. And I know that this, because again, I'm a coach, I work in the fitness industry as a professional. And then I put some specific stats on there based off of where I'm at right now. I'm not just picking these numbers arbitrarily. So if you're triggered by numbers, I'm sorry, but like I've done a lot of data and research and auditing of my own body, and I'm not very far from this. And this really focuses on the areas physically that I need to improve my core strength, my mobility, my back strength, and I want to continue to add strength and size into my lower body. And so that's where that comes into play. And then home is reduce closet overwhelm and keep a clean home. And then personal development is better emotional regulation. And like I said, I have music, family, finances, and then work and learning, and then writing as well as goals, but I'm not focusing on those. I can work on pieces of them, but I'm not honing in on them right away. I'm starting with these 3 in January, really started on these 3 in December, but you know, and then in the monthly, I'm going to work out this today. So I'm going to check in with where I'm at with certain things. I'm going to set some like goals and deadlines for me that like, what do I want to work on this week in regards to this? So like, I'll put my therapy appointments in here. I'll say this week I want to go through my shoes. This week I want to pull my summer clothes out and try them on. This week I want to do XYZ. And I'll probably only do 3 things. And then same thing for mobility. I've actually already discussed with my strength coach what we're going to be doing for that. And I have my workouts already scheduled for January. So I'll plug all of that in here to get the overview. And then this is the magic of this. I don't need to really do this because I did this already in my B6, but it was inspired by this page, weekly rhythm ideas for the season. And actually in my B6, I have 4 different sort of ideal schedules outlined. So like I have, they're back here. Like I have this one, and then I also have like this one and this one. So I already did a deep dive on kind of my rhythm, sort of as inspired by this weekly schedule. And so I already kind of did that, but I love this concept. And then this is the goal. Again, I'm not going to dive as deep into this. I'm not going to have necessarily 6 goals. I am going to use this tracking list, however. So monthly goals, weekly rhythms, and then daily items and habits. A lot of this is not necessarily going to be filled in, but it did inspire, like I said, it did inspire this. If we go into my monthly, it inspired, whoa, hello, where'd it go? All of this, my focus, the behaviors I want to engage in, and a quick weekly reflection on them. So this is very much like a supplement reference. And then I will be able to kind of do like a month in review. So I don't know how in depth I'll use necessarily these pages. I'll figure it out kind of today and maybe give you guys an update at the end of January on how I used this in practice in my system. But I really for me, it was the work that went through. Good things, challenges, where I want to go with everything, upgrading my mindset, what matters, what didn't matter, what I'm saying yes to, what I'm saying no to, my most purposeful, like this was all really beneficial for me. And then brainstorming and then writing out what the actual things that happen underneath this. And then, yeah, so that's where that is. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's where we're going. This is my Cultivate What Matters, my 5-year Hobonichi, my personal wide rings, and then these will stay. And then my bullet journal to start the year. You'll probably see 2 or 3 of these blank notebooks throughout the year of 2024. So that is my overview. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.